Hayashida trembles in fear, realizing that Reis is not an idiot or a normal college student. He nervously asks if he can leave. The nearby students watch in confusion as Hayashida shakes in fear. Reis steps closer and realizes that since Hayashida didn't even know he was Kasumi's brother, someone else must have sent him to start a fight. Reis tells Hayashida he was being used and demands to know who set him up. A terrified Hayashida confesses that a first-year business student named Minami Hiroki manipulated him by showing him photos of Reis and Kasumi together. Hayashida offers to go with Reis to help settle the problem. Suddenly, Kasumi's voice rings out across the field calling for her big brother. Reis turns to see her approaching. Kasumi rushes over to Reis and asks if he is hurt. She stands protectively in front of him and yells at Hayashida to stay away from her brother. A terrified Hayashida quickly turns around and runs away. Kasumi then introduces her best friend, Furuya Runa. Reis looks at Runa and immediately notices she has a pure yin constitution with blocked meridians. He realizes this means she won't live long. He thinks to himself that he could have saved her with his past strength, but he cannot do anything right now. He decides to deal with it later, focusing first on finding out if Minami Hiroki is connected to the poison needle. Reis asks Kasumi where the business administration department is. She points to a large brown building nearby. Reis tells them he is just going to have a look and walks toward the building, determined to drag out everyone who set him up. Kasumi watches him go and notes that her brother has truly changed. Inside a classroom in the business building, students gossip about Hayashida getting sent to the infirmary by the so-called idiot Tojo. Sitting quietly at a desk, Minami Hiroki listens and assumes the Tojo family ordered Reis to pretend to be a fool. A dark purple aura surrounds Minami as he slams his hand on the desk. He vows to crush Reis himself in the name of the Minami family to make the whole university know his name. The classroom doors suddenly swing open, and Reis walks in. He demands to know where Minami Hiroki is. The professor tells him to leave if he isn't enrolled, but Reis ignores him. The students whisper in surprise, recognizing Reis. Minami smirks from his desk, pleased that Reis actually came. Two muscular students step in front of Reis to block his path. They yell that he will have to go through them first and swing their fists at him. Reis stands calmly, thinking that the attacks of ordinary people are painfully slow. He easily ducks under their punches. Moving quickly, Reis delivers a powerful strike directly into one of the attacker's faces. The student is launched backward and crashes onto the floor, bleeding from his head. Reis stands over the defeated students. He clenches his fist, his eyes glowing blue, and tells them he will say it one more time. Bring him Minami Hiroki. The students in the classroom are shocked that Reis took down the attacker so easily. They whisper that Minami comes from the Defense Ministry family and is on a completely different level of strength. Minami pulls off his shirt to reveal a muscular build surrounded by a glowing red aura. He confidently introduces himself. Reis looks at him and notes that he is actually built well and seems seriously angry. The professor yells at them, demanding to know what they are doing in his classroom. Reis calmly tells him to relax and says it will be over quickly. Minami asks if Reis wants to take the fight outside to the field. Reis says right here is fine. He asks Minami why he targeted him and who ordered it, offering to go a little easy on him if he answers. Minami gets furious, stating that no one has ever talked that big in front of him. He lunges forward and throws a massive punch at Reis's face. Reis catches Minami's fist effortlessly with one hand without even flinching. Reis calls his attack pathetic, noting that it is all brute force with absolutely no technique. Minami starts sweating in panic as he realizes he cannot pull his fist back. Reis then delivers a powerful kick straight into Minami's stomach. The impact sends Minami flying backward through the air. He crashes hard into several desks and chairs. The classroom erupts in panic. The professor yells that he will report the violence to the university. The students cannot believe Reis actually flattened Minami. They whisper that the Minami family will not let this slide, and that Reis must have a death wish since even the professors are afraid of them. Minami struggles on the floor, clutching his stomach in pain. Reis walks over and crouches in front of the defeated student. He asks Minami if targeting his family was his own family's idea. A terrified Minami asks what Reis is going to do. Reis warns him that if he has any business in the future, he should bring it directly to him and leave his family out of it. Reis then grabs both of Minami's arms and snaps them backward, breaking them instantly. Minami screams in agony as he lies broken on the classroom floor. Reis looks down at Minami and tells him he just dislocated both of his shoulders. He asks if Minami wants to keep going. Minami cries, gives up, and promises never to go near the Tojo family again. Reis corrects him, stating it is the Hazuki family. Minami quickly agrees. Reis turns and walks away. He thinks to himself that if he hadn't been strong enough today, Kasumi would have definitely been harassed. As Reis leaves, the other students panic and rush to get Minami to a hospital. The professor is outraged by the violence and asks for the attacker's name so he can report him. A student tells him it is Tojo Reis, the famous campus idiot. The professor wonders if Reis is just considered an idiot because he acts so recklessly. In another classroom, a student shows Kasumi a viral post on the school forum. The post features a picture of Reis kicking Minami, with a caption saying the campus idiot annihilated Minami in seconds. Kasumi smiles brightly and calls her brother cool. Her friend Runa warns her that Minami's family works for the defense ministry and Reis could be in serious trouble. Kasumi immediately calls Reis to warn him. Outside, a campus loudspeaker announces that second-year Tojo Reis is facing disciplinary action for assault. Reis walks away from the school grounds, completely ignoring the announcement. He answers Kasumi's call. She yells through the phone, frantically asking how he can be so calm when the Minami family will definitely retaliate. Reis tells her he will deal with it when it happens. He remembers his past life, thinking that if he gets scared of something this small, he will never reach the immortal path again. Kasumi tells him to lay low on campus, but Reis says he has already left the gate. When she asks where he is going, he simply says he is going to get stronger. At a hospital, Minami lies in a bed with his arms heavily bandaged. His mother is furious that someone dared to hit her son in public. Minami begs her not to tell his father or older brother, because he wants to get revenge himself to save his reputation at the university. An older man in the room sneers that an abandoned Tojo family dared to attack their Hiroki. Back on the street, Reis clutches his chest. He acknowledges that while the Minamis are not that powerful, he still cannot be careless. He notes his current body is far too weak, and he needs to power up fast. He decides it is time to move his plan forward and hails a taxi. Once inside, he tells the driver to take him to the nearest Chinese medicine pharmacy. He looks at a small notebook, thinking that if he can successfully refine a medical pill, he might finally be able to awaken. Reis goes to the Rushodo Chinese medicine pharmacy. He orders a large list of specific herbs, including licorice, goji berries, and gardenia. The pharmacists are surprised he is buying so much without a prescription. Reis buys everything and leaves carrying a massive sack of herbs over his shoulder. He realizes he just spent 2 months' worth of living expenses and is completely broke. He needs a quiet place to refine the herbs into pills, but he has no money left to rent a room. Suddenly, Kasumi and her friend Runner run up behind him. Kasumi scolds him for leaving campus and asks if he robbed the pharmacy. Reis calmly asks Kasumi to lend him some money. Kasumi and Runa are surprised, as he has never asked for money before. Reis explains he needs to rent a room to process the herbs so he can get smarter. Kasumi checks her wallet but only has 20,000 yen, which Reis says is not enough. Runa steps forward and offers him her bank card. She tells him she has 80,000 yen in her account that he can use first. Runa hands over the card and tells him the PIN. As Reis looks at her, he again visualizes her pure yin constitution. He sees that the deadly yin energy has seeped all the way into her bones, meaning she will die before she turns 22 unless an expert intervenes. He accepts the card, thanks her, and promises to pay her back in 2 weeks. As Reis walks away, Runa wonders why she trusts him so easily. Feeling like he radiates a reliable aura, Reis acknowledges that while this money is nothing to a cultivator, it is all the money she has. He decides he now owes her a debt. Reis visualizes her drowning in deep water due to her condition. He thinks most people would give up on her, but he vows to stand between her and the King of Hell to keep her alive so he can repay the favor 10 times over. Later, Reis meets with a landlady to rent an apartment. She tells him the total is 36,000 yen upfront for the rent and deposit. Reis pays her and walks into the empty, run-down room. He decides it is good enough as long as he can refine his pills. Noting that raising his cultivation is the fastest way to earn more money, Reis sets up multiple large metal pots on portable gas stoves on the floor. He reflects that pill refining requires 3 key factors: herb quality, flame control, and activating the medicinal properties. His hand glows with blue kai as he levitates the packages of herbs in the air. He notes that each herb must be handled differently, some burned with fire, others dissolved in water to draw out their full power. He drops the ingredients into the pots. He knows the herbs are weak due to Earth's low spiritual energy, but his past knowledge will let him create a basic Kai refining pill. He pushes his blue Kai directly into the flames to perfectly control the heat. Reis watches the pots and thinks the process is too easy. Suddenly, the apartment door is violently kicked open. A blond man walks in with two masked men holding bats. The leader smirks and says it took a while to find him, then orders his men to attack. Reis is annoyed that they interrupted him during a critical step of the refinement. He tells them he doesn't have time to play and uses a technique called True Dragon Fist First Form. With a burst of blue energy, Reis instantly strikes down both masked men, sending them crashing to the floor. Reis looks at the blonde leader and offers to go easy on him if he tells him who sent them. The leader smirks and says it makes sense how Reis beat Hiroki. He states he is not just some ordinary college kid and lunges forward with a powerful punch surrounded by a yellow aura. Reis blocks the strike with his elbow but is pushed back by the force. He realizes the man is compressing environmental Kai into his body through sheer training. Reis identifies him as a martial artist, someone far beyond an ordinary human but not quite a true cultivator. The two exchange a rapid flurry of punches. The leader notices Reis is trying to protect the boiling pot. Taking advantage of this, the leader kicks the pot, shattering it into pieces. Reis is distracted and frustrated that his refinement was interrupted so close to the end. The leader uses the opening to land a devastating punch directly on Reis's face, sending him flying backward and crashing hard into the ground. A large cloud of dust fills the room. As the smoke clears, Reis is seen standing up with a smile, holding a glowing golden pill in his mouth. He thinks to himself that he wanted to simmer it longer, but it will have to do. He bites down on the pill. A massive aura of golden fire erupts around his body. He stares at the shocked leader and tells him he will use him to test the strength of his new second stage of Kai refinement.